Hey guys, we're live. We are live on a Sunday to talk about records and open some records and talk about records and, you know, all the good stuff that we do in these streams. So thank you guys for joining me as you start to roll in. I'll say hi and then we'll dive into some records. You guys know the drill. If this is your first one, welcome. If this is your millionth one, also welcome. What's up, Connor, CAZR, Oliver, Ryan? Got some folks in here that I recognize. Nick is here, which is always a good thing. What's up, Wade, Gunnison? Thank you guys for coming. I have some records to open. I don't even know what they are. I'm trying to remember what I ordered, and it's reached the point where I'm not entirely sure. Lisa's here. James is here. All right, we got a good crew. I have, let's see, how many records do I have to open today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 boxes. And then we'll do some Q&A, as we usually do. Roland's here. We got William. When am I coming to Minneapolis to visit Electric Fetus? Man, it's on my bucket list. It's funny. If you guys liked my my video I put out this past week about Portland record stores, I'm putting out a video next week that's basically going to be asking you guys 2 questions. One, what kind of things you want to see in this series, and 2, where I should go. Don't answer now. Please save your answers for the video comments because I want to make them all collected in one area so I don't like lose my, I don't forget them. I want to be able to refer to it whenever possible. So, all right, people are still trickling in before I dive into the unboxing. Hope you guys are doing well. I am actually pretty tired. I just filmed 3 videos in a row for the channel. My biggest problem with this damn channel is figuring out lighting. I can never get it right. I'm by myself. Usually my girlfriend can help me, but she's not in town. And the lighting is okay. It's actually a kind of cool framing for these videos. It's like I'm really in focus and the back is a little blurry, like a classic YouTuber thing. The whole frame is a little dark, but I'm very bright. I got to do some editing to it for sure. But yeah, I'm still workshopping it. The hardest part of doing this channel is getting all of the technical aspects because I am so much more of a host and ideas person and, you know, performer, promoter. I'm not a tech guy, and that has been my downfall on this channel since day one. But I hope you guys still enjoy the content I put out. Yeah, so that was fun. 3 videos, though. I talked for like an hour straight. So now I'm going to do another hour straight of talking and then not say anything the rest of the day. But let's, you know, this is kind of a small group thus far, which is, you know, not to be unexpected for a last-minute live stream, but I appreciate that you guys are here nonetheless. Shout out to the wonderful TMR box cutter. Thanks to Adam Kanowski. And, yeah, how this works is I'm going to open these records and talk about them. Well, first off, there's 50 of you and there's 5 likes. That ratio is horrible. Hit the like button. It's super quick. It's free. If you want to, if you would like to ask me a question while I'm in the unboxing phase, drop a super chat. Help buy my dinner or support the channel in some small way. I will answer your question to the fullest if I see it pop up as a super chat in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll have to wait till the end where I'll try to get to as many questions as I can. Let's dive into this first one, though. I feel like this isn't going to be a record, and you'll know why in a second, why I say that. So let's see. It's record related, though. Unless I ordered something from here and I forgot, which, again, very likely. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, as expected, this is not a record, but this is essential for records. MoFi sleeves. There seems to be some kind of shortage of MoFi sleeves. Focus. There seems to be a shortage of MoFi sleeves. I could find some at Turntable Lab thanks to someone's kind recommendation in the TMR Facebook group. But yeah, these are getting harder to find right now. I don't know why, but hopefully that gets fixed soon. I'm running low. This is my pick for favorite inner sleeves. Some people in my group were saying that there are some new companies that have popped up. I think one's called Big Fudge. I can't recommend them because I haven't used them, but they're saying they're pretty good. So There you go. MoFi sleeves. I'm good for the next 50 record spins or so. Let's keep going, shall we? All right. Ooh. It is downpouring right now. Can you guys hear the rain? It's Portland, so it's probably going to stop in like 5 minutes, but out of nowhere, just a crazy amount of rain. All right. Hey, Nick, with the first super chat. Thank you, my friend. I always appreciate you. What are my plans for Record Store Day on Saturday? It's a good thing you asked about that. I am actually not going to Record Store Day on Saturday because I didn't realize it till about 2 weeks ago. I am going to be in New Jersey for one of my best friend's weddings. Can't make it to Record Store Day, which is fine. I will still be online grabbing what I need day of. I'm sure I'll be able to find just about everything. I am hoping to go to Record Store Day Part 2, and then I'll probably do a video recap of everything that I got across both drops, and hopefully get some footage out of store for the second drop. We'll see. But that is probably my my move for now. This is a very weird vaporwave record. It's called Welcome to the Bathroom. The song titles have a lot of Japanese in them, but it's like, welcome, entering the bathroom, choose a stall, yuck, wash your hands, electric hand dryer, exiting the bathroom, and thank you. It's actually a really good album musically, though. It has a lot of GameCube game samples mixed with that typical vaporwave aesthetic. So I really like this record. Tiger Blood Tapes just did it. It's a really goofy concept, but musically it's one of my favorite vaporwave releases. So vaporwave is all about kind of that weird... I feel like I should show you guys the variant, too. The variant matches the concept, if you can imagine. Hold on. Here we go. There you go. That's the variant. Kind of pretty, except in the context of this album, in which it's a little grosser. But the album is called Welcome to the Bathroom. I think it's what it's called. Yeah, Welcome to the Bathroom. Welcome to the Bathroom. You know what? This is actually kind of a bummer. This has a pretty big crease. I don't know if I give a crap enough to complain about it, though. We'll see. Maybe he has extra jackets. I have like 5 or 6 records on order with Tiger Blood Tapes, so maybe he can just throw a different jacket into my next order. We'll see. All right. No! You guys know how much I hate this. Every time. It's just so frustrating. These mighty mailers are mighty frustrating, in my opinion. I just don't understand why this is such a PITA. Oh my god. It's like if anyone could do these regularly with one singular... Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. Look what's happening. I'm trying to just open the box with their proposed system, and it's just a nightmare. Oh, man. Just mangling. I don't like mangling these mailers because I feel like I like to reuse them, but, like, whatever. This is so stupid. This is so dumb. Okay. I opened it, guys. I did the thing. Billy Talent, one of my favorite punk bands. Is it pop punk or punk? I think it's more punk. It has a little bit of an edge. If you guys like punk, it's kind of like a little heavier Green Day. Like it has a similar vocal style to Green Day, but it's not as like poppy. It's a little crunchier guitar work. This is their most recent record, Afraid of Heights. I have the standard pressing, but this was a colored pressing on Bloody Mary colored vinyl, and you guys know me, I'm a collector, I'm a sucker for this stuff. So I picked up this one. Yeah, as MOV records tend to be, this one is numbered on the back, which is super cool. Yeah, if you guys don't know this record, I want to say that this jacket is nicer than my original press too. I could be wrong, but this is a really sturdy gatefold. I love when it has like you can see a clear division between it. It means like the stock is really sturdy. Always appreciate that. Yeah, that's a great album. Afraid of Heights. All right. I see a comment and I'll answer it just because I see it. What are my go-to outlets for online shopping? I mean, I usually just get from Discogs. I don't really have a go-to outlet. I'll try to support labels through Bandcamp or through the label site whenever there's a release I like. But if in just general online shopping, it's usually Discogs. And hi, Mike Alexander. This is the first time that you've been in a live stream for a long time. Ryan was asking about you last week. We were reminiscing about the good old days when you guys were crazy and just throwing all kinds of craziness into these live streams. I kind of miss those chaotic days, but you're both here now, which is very special. My girl, T-Swizz, Evermore. I really love this album. I like Folklore more, but this is a great record. I'm actually working, spoiler, on a video involving Taylor Swift that should be out probably next month, is my guess, sometime. But yeah, this was a really great record. I mean, it's her collaborating with The National, basically, which is my favorite band. So ultimately, this was going to be a home run pretty much no matter what. And yeah, I mean, look at this. Can you imagine a Taylor Swift record saying that? That right there is like mind blowing to me. Ask me 10 years ago if I thought The National would be on a Taylor Swift record, and never, a million years, gun to my head, I would have said no, and now I'd be dead. So, pretty amazing stuff. We got a super chat. Mike Alexander, you did not ask a question though, Mike. I appreciate your generosity, but do you have a question for me that you would like me to answer? You're basically making me sing and dance for $1. So what do you have for me to say? Adam Kanowski, you're actually here. I thought you abandoned the live stream too. I gave you a little shout out before when I was talking about the amount of mileage and boxes that this thing has opened is just truly unbelievable. I'll be on the lookout for your question, Mike, if you have one, or if that was, I don't know if that was a super chat for your previous question. I'm not sure. Just sending me love. I'll take the love. Thank you. Ryan, your turn. Just like that. Ryan is back with currently taking the lead in the super chat wars. If you guys are new to the live streams, Mike and Ryan used to battle like gladiators to be the king of the live stream, and it was very entertaining for everyone involved. And this is a nice little taste. Now, whether it dies here or continues throughout the stream, it's anyone's ball game. But I'd like to agree with Nick and say, and it begins. Who knows? Weirder things have happened on these streams for sure. I will say that some of the best laughs I've ever had on this channel are in live streams where Mike and Ryan were here together. And you can probably find those old live streams somewhere. All right, here we go. The other night, I went on a rabbit hole. A lot of you ask me how I discover music. And it's really hard for me to put into words. I'd love to be able to like come up with a good way to explain how I discover music, but sometimes I'll just be like, for example, here's how I found this. I love bossa nova, but I only know the big names, mostly Brazilian artists, and I was like on Reddit and I was searching for like best bossa nova records, like modern bossa nova vocal records, and I ended up finding a thread where I saw some recommendations from this label. And I went to the label and I started kind of listening to some stuff on the label. And then I found this girl on the label and I was like, oh my God, she encapsulates bossa nova in a modern lens so beautifully. And I had to track down her record, and I tracked one down for a fairly reasonable price. And then I started digging in the rabbit hole on like people she's collaborated with. And like, I kind of just spider out constantly when I find something that I'm interested in. I'll just kind of figure out everything about the label, everything about the collaborators, everything about like the genre sometimes, and I'll discover things based on recommendations, and then I'll build my own. That's a really convoluted way of saying this is a really good album by Sabrina Malheiros. I'm not pronouncing that right. Clarea? I'm probably overthinking that. If you guys like bossa nova, she has an amazing voice and it's amazing classic bossa nova sound. This album came out in 2017, it looks like. Although I don't know if that was when it was recorded or when it came out. But yeah, this is a perfect throwback to the classic bossa sound. And I'm really happy I discovered her. I bought 2 of her records because they're both really, really good. But if you guys like that energy, I definitely recommend listening to Sabrina. It is not in English. But that's okay because with bossa nova, I don't need to know the lyrics. I just need to appreciate the music. I might be mixing it up with another record. Now that I said that, I'm wondering if parts of it are in English. But I don't think so. I think the majority of it is either in Portuguese or in Spanish. Definitely check it out. You'll definitely enjoy it. Bossa nova is kind of one of those things that I think anyone could appreciate. It's just very peaceful music, whether it's loungy stuff for your background or it's something that's very in your face. Quite good. All right, who is this person spamming? You are removed. All right, hold on. Hide user from the channel. Who is this guy? Get him out of here. Sorry, guys. I gotta remove this clown. All right, I think I got rid of him. Wow. Not cool, Godzilla. All right. Oh, wow. I've been waiting forever for this to show up. Literally months and months and months and months. This is Uncle's End Titles Redux. Whoa! This is a first. Check this out. So, Uncle is an amazing electronic act. In the same vein as kind of like DJ Shadow. That kind of vibe. And I just, their first record, Science Fiction, is so good. Other records have a lot of good moments. And I've realized that with Uncle stuff, if you don't get it right away, it's going to be so expensive down the road. So I jumped on this double 10-inch. I don't really know the tunes on it super well, but it was limited to 500, numbered, and Uncle hasn't really missed before. There's only been things I like more or less. But check this out. Number 500 of 500. I got the last one. That's kind of cool. I feel like of all the numbered records I've ever received, I've never had a 500, or I've never had like a final number out of the run, which is cool. DJ Shadow left Uncle after the first album. Yeah, that's true. But I was saying it's like just for fans of DJ Shadow. That's probably why I love Science Fiction so much, is because it has that DJ Shadow element to it. But yeah, this is going to be a fun listen. I'm really excited about this. All right, so what do we have here? It's actually spelled Science Fiction P. It starts with a P, like Psy, P-S-Y, and fiction. This is actually really cool, and I don't want to talk about it improperly because I feel like this is a very cool concept and I don't want to mess it up. So this right here is something called Explorations in Sound. It was a collaboration with Vinyl Me Please and Marantz. If you don't know either, Vinyl Me Please is a record club. Marantz is one of my all-time favorite audio equipment makers. I have a Marantz right there. Before I talk about it, though, we have a Mike super chat. So I got to pause my introduction. Oh, but there's no question, just love. Thank you, Mike. Although I think you asked something above. Hold on. am I a fan of Daddy's Home? If so, how many variants do I have? I am a fan of Daddy's Home. I thought it was an excellent return to form, even though it's a different sound. I think it's she did a great album. I only have like the grayish putty marble, and it came with the signed copy of the like art print. Ryan, one-upping Mike by the cent. That is a brutal Price is Right move right there. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much for that. You guys are too much. I missed having both of you in here. This is a nice throwback after a year of garbage we all just went through. Let me try to explain this before I lose what I'm saying. So this is Explorations of Sound, and it's basically a collaboration of songs that are meant to showcase different, I think, levels of audio. It's meant to like show all the different things that like your system can do in terms of showcasing different aspects of audio, some of the highest quality recordings that exist, some of the most interestingly produced songs. Like the first side, you have stuff like Diana Krall, but then you also have I actually don't recognize almost any of this, but you have like some Vivaldi stuff, a bunch of stuff I don't know, but it says the volume 1 is Listen Like a Sound Master, but volume 2 is Listen Like a Producer, and volume 2 is right up my alley. You have some Perfume Genius, some Dirty Projectors, Jay Dilla, Cornelius, Flying Lotus and Tom York, James Blake, Tom Misch, The Books, some of the most interesting producers of all time, all put together on this compilation. So this was awesome, and VMP just had a little overstock sale where they sold some, but ultimately to get this, you had to buy a Marantz piece, and then I think you got this with it, I believe. But VMP had like a little overstock where they were selling them to members of the club, which is cool. But this is really exciting. As someone who has a good setup with the Clearaudio concept and the Marantz PM7000N and my awesome Fluance speakers, I feel like this is going to be an absolute joy to listen to. I think it's going to test my system to the fullest, and I'm very much excited to dive in and kind of listen. I don't know half the songs on here, and I'm sure if they're put on a compilation like this, they're going to either be extremely high quality recordings or just really good, well-produced stuff. So very excited about this. I hope that Marantz does more collabs with different companies that are doing kind of music related stuff, because I mean, Marantz is just infallible, like in terms of their reputation. Like everybody wants a classic Marantz. My Marantz isn't classic, but it's a new piece that's served me very well thus far. So yeah, that's really cool, and I'm gonna probably listen to that tonight. Maybe not tonight. I have to edit these videos tonight. So soon, very soon. All right. Ooh, I know what this last one is. This is something I've been waiting to get from a guy who watches this channel, or at least posts in the Facebook group. This is the album Leaf's OST, one of his more recent reissues. Recent issues. The album Leaf is, if you guys went to TMR Fest, I don't know if anyone in here, I mean, a couple of you did actually, but album Leaf was the headliner at my festival I threw in LA a few years ago. He puts on an amazing show, really good kind of down-tempo, ambient, soundscapey stuff. Sometimes a little bit more of a beat, sometimes a little bit more of a vibe, but he's amazing. And I'm lucky that he's in the TMR Facebook group and he likes to chat about obscure music with some of you. But yeah, the album Leaf is awesome, and this is one of his more recent releases, so check it out. I'm excited to listen, and he sent me the gold one, which I believe the gold ones are like the most limited version of his reissues lately. I think he does like a one that's like on a standard color, and then he does a gold one. But look, I love how the gold pressings now are getting this kind of ripple-y effect in them. I think that's super, super cool. So yeah, very excited to listen to this. And he also did a release for Synchronic, the soundtrack he just did for my friends Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson, and I'm really excited to hear that. So that comes in a really deluxe vinyl package. It has like an outer bag and all this cool stuff. So yeah, so that's really cool. Thank you, Jimmy, for this awesome record. All right, so those are all the records I have to unbox, but I am happy to do some Q&A with you guys. I know I have a lot to catch up on in this chat, so I'll try my best to do some catch up, but you guys are flying through with these. Feel free to drop some more super chats if you would like. I'll never say no to one, and I'll try to answer these questions as I see them, but if you drop a super chat, I will go in depth with my answer to the best of my ability. So let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see. You say Drake hasn't released a great album since Nothing Was the Same, but most people think that If You're Reading This, It's Too Late is his last great project. That was the first project where I thought he fell off because the whole thing was not good. Only a handful of tracks were. Nothing Was the Same is a good listen front to back. Take Care is a good listen front to back. If You're Reading This, It's Too Late has some standouts, but a lot of filler to me. Did I order Fearless Taylor's version on vinyl? I did. I'm excited to hear the re-recordings. I really like that album. Drake hasn't ever dropped a bad album. That's not true. Drake has dropped a handful of bad albums. More Life? Not good. Outside of like one track. I'm trying to catch up. Let's see. Any ideas for a TMR Fest in the Great Northwest? I would like to do another TMR Fest. I think as things return to normal, the idea of doing something publicly is more appealing. I guess details to come. Nothing is officially in the works, but nothing is impossible. What is Doom's best? Under the MF Doom project, I think that Food is probably his best, but my favorite Doom project is Victor Vaughn, Vaudeville Villain. For me, that's Doom at his grimiest. Opinion on Sawayama by Rina Sawayama. I've only heard a few tracks, but I really like what I've heard. I love that she's fusing all of these different genres, especially a little hint of nu metal in with her music. I think she's definitely making some of the more unique stuff out there right now. Have I been able to check out Tipper? I remember you telling me to check him out. I did. It was a little too experimental for me. I feel like it's not melodic enough. For electronic music, for me, I need it to be prettier. And Tipper had some elements of it, but overall it wasn't kind of grabbing me. What are my favorite video game soundtrack records I have? So many. Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger, Super Mario 64, Katamari Damacy, so many. Tyler with the super chat, popping right up at the bottom of the screen for me to answer. Any hints to next cities for the crate digging series? It's a good question. I don't know if you were here earlier in the beginning of the live stream. I said that my video next week is going to kind of dive into a little bit more about my plans and asking you guys for suggestions for the rest of the series. So I don't have anything set in stone, but there's definitely going to be more on the horizon for sure. What do I think is Linkin Park's best and worst album to date? Their best is Hybrid Theory, just because it's so nostalgic for me, but Meteor is amazing too. Their worst is probably one of their final ones where they went a little too EDM-y. Not my thing. I'm so close to 40K. It's true. It is true. I am less than 100 subscribers away from 40,000, which is very exciting. Yeah, it's just awesome to see the channel grow. I wish it would grow a little faster with how much I do for it, but I'm still happy to see it's growing, and there's new people coming into the fold all the time and coming in the live streams. It's awesome. So yeah, very excited to cross. We're about to cross the 40K and 5 million video views threshold, which is awesome. So yeah. How many copies of Gets Gilberto do I own? It's so funny. I talk about that in a video I just recorded today, so you have to wait for that. Have I seen the Primavera Sound Festival lineup? It is pretty stacked, but simultaneously, I wasn't wowed enough to fly across the world to it. Past Primavera lineups have been so much better, in my opinion. I feel like Primavera this year, or next year, is good in comparison to the other lineups, which are not very good. The festival lineups this year have been pretty weak, ultimately. Am I getting the avalanches since I left you for 4LP? Yeah, I am. I get it for the MF Doom remix alone. But yeah, it's en route to me. Have I gotten into hyperpunk like Dorian Electra? I'm familiar with Dorian Electra. Hyperpunk, is that like hyperpop but just a little edgier? Interesting. Favorite pickup I got from Final Form. It's your favorite record store. Patrick is very nice. My favorite pickup is the Turnover record. I was really impressed by that. It really did capture that like Wild Nothing era indie vibe. I thought it was a really, really solid listen, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not giving them more of a chance until now. Top 5 albums for Saturday's record store day. Let me see if I can go back to my... I feel like I had a list somewhere on my computer. Hold on. I think the ones I'm most excited for to try to get on Saturday are... Let's see, if I'm doing 5, probably Rage Against the Machine, Battle for Mexico City, Slum Village, Fantastic Volume 2, Tears for Fears, Live at Massey Hall, Arthur Verocai, Timeless, and the 5th one, maybe Prince The Truth. I don't know. It's a cool album. The acoustic Prince album. Have I listened to The Weeknd's After Hours and what are my thoughts on it? I think that it's a perfectly fine pop record, but I think that all the praise it got was a little overblown. Like, I really believe that everyone who listened to that album just hasn't listened to anything from the 80s, because it really does sound like every popular thing from the 80s. Through a modern lens. It's not like he's reinventing the wheel. I'm not a huge Weeknd fan to begin with, so I don't know if I'm his target audience. Do I plan to come to Kentucky? I'd like to. I'm sure there's a lot of good food, but I'm sure there's a lot of good record stores too. Mike, I was wondering when you'd show up. It's so funny that you just said that. I just filmed, if you guys just came in, I filmed 3 videos today, and one of them, I talk about Imogen Heap, which is funny. I have the clear pressing, I believe, and it sounds really good. So I would say that's a good one to go for. Any good poster websites I can recommend? Honestly, there's not a lot of good poster websites. You got to follow specific artists and, see when they're doing their next poster drop, especially for like gig posters. They'll put up extras in their store. A lot of the Facebook groups about posters are a great way to find stuff that's long sold out. I'm in a lot of those that are kind of just like people, selling posters, like gig posters or art prints from various artists. Did I pick up the 3 Blind Mice box? And if not, when will I submit and embrace the world of jazz? Everyone's asking me that. One day I'm going to have like a jazz phase. Right now I'm kind of going through a metal phase. I feel like I'm starting to listen to a little more heavier stuff on a regular basis. So I feel like once my metal phase finishes, it's going to end up being soul or jazz. And I'm just not sure which one yet. Hannah Peel's Fur Wave. I'll check it out. You described it well. Electronic, that's beautiful in places. That's like right up my alley. Am I limiting the record stores in cities I'm visiting just to America? I am not. I'm open to going anywhere for a good record hunt. So I'll talk about that more in next week's video. What's my favorite metal band? I mean, if Slipknot counts as metal, it might be Slipknot. I've been listening to so much of them lately, but Rammstein might be my answer. I also love Metallica. I'm very surface level when it comes to metal. I'm not gonna lie. Will I be going to Governor's Ball this year? Actually, I'm gonna be in New York around that time. I might get a single day ticket for the day that Phoebe's playing, but I'm not sure. Favorite pop artist? That's tough. My quick answer might be Carly Rae Jepsen, but I'm not sure. Pop is so vague. Thoughts on purchasing signed records and autographed records in general? I mean, if it's not crazy expensive, I always like when a jacket's signed by the artist. I mean, of course, you have to worry about it being a counterfeit and not being an actual signature. But yeah, I've definitely purchased records that were signed because I wanted to have the artist's signature. I think that's cool. I think it's better to get it in person, but it's not always available. What shows do I have tickets for? Yes, now you're asking the hard-hitting questions. I'm really leaning into my emo vibes for my shows I've purchased. I have tickets right now to go see Death Cab for Cutie, Dashboard Confessional, Motion City Soundtrack, Machine Gun Kelly, and then I'm going to see Jose Gonzalez and Rufus Wainwright perform on a rooftop in New York City, which is going to be amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go back to my first concert. I think the first one on the list is Death Cab. What's the best restaurant I've discovered so far in Portland? It's so hard to say. There's been a lot of good stuff, but I think my girlfriend and I love Deschutes Brewery. Really good food. We've probably ordered from there the most, and we've been there once. Can I recommend a King Gizzard album to someone who hasn't listened before? That's a difficult question because they expand so many genres. They have stuff that's thrash metal. They have stuff that's psych rock. They have stuff that's folky. It really depends on what genre they like because there's so many entry points and they're also wildly different. Any George Ben records? I love George Ben. I have a couple of his records. I always try to look for like original presses of his like early stuff when I'm at record stores, and the stores know what they have if they have those. They're usually very expensive. Thoughts on the Doors' new vinyl? Are you talking about the Vinyl Me Please release? I thought it was kind of a throwaway. I swapped it for store credit because I don't need a copy of the Doors album. I mean, you can find that at any garage sale for $5. It's not like I don't need a great copy of that. What are some to be released? You guys have. I am trying to catch up on these questions. So if you guys have a pressing question, you gotta throw me a super chat because I'm gonna have trouble getting to it. There's so much stuff. I'm going as fast as humanly possible. Water break. All right. What are some to be released records I'm stoked on? As in stuff that I have on order. Let me go to my list and see. I mean, I have such an absurd amount of records on order. Just on quick viewing, things that I'm excited to come in are Chester Watson put out an amazing hip hop record. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but it came out not that long ago. And Fat Beats did a pressing of it, so I'm waiting for that to come in. Square Enix did a Final Fantasy 14 4-album box set, and I'm a gamer. I've had stints where I've played Final Fantasy 14. I'm actually currently casually playing it right now whenever I have spare time. The music in that is incredible. I'm excited for... This list is just, it's comically long. I can't even... Things that I have on order. Yeah, I just... There's too many. I'm moving on. There's two. I'm going through the list and getting anxiety about how many records I have on order. You got to make it to Portland and go to the ramen place I showed on Instagram. It's actually not a ramen place. It's just a Thai restaurant. Just their signature item is called the volcano noodles, which is they put it in a cup of noodle thing, and it's just like overflowing spicy noodles with like a beef bone and then like really tender meat on the beef bone that you slide right off. It's good. It's a little more of a spectacle than it is delicious. It was very good, but it was very expensive. Definitely a place to go to show people, not really a place to go regularly. You're waiting on a copy of Giles Corey to come in. Great record. Really dark record, but really great. Let's see. You'd recommend the band Avatar? They're kind of similar to Slipknot. I'll check them out. I will check them out. If they're like Slipknot, I'll probably be into them. Nu metal, metalcore, thrash. What is my favorite genre of metal? Embarrassingly, it's probably nu metal, but I don't really get into the deeper. I like some thrash. I don't really like doom metal. I don't really like stoner metal. I don't really like death metal, black metal. Those are a little too far away from me still. We got a super chat from Mike. That means that Ryan's just around the corner, methinks. Thank you, Mike. always a pleasure. Do you have a question up here? I don't see the question. Okay, hold on. I'm scrolling up then because I don't see your question. But hold on. Now I've lost my spot. Do I know about Newberry Comics? Of course I know about Newberry Comics, Ryan. I've been ordering them for like 5 years. Yeah. I feel like you can't be a record collector these days and not know about Newberry Comics. They're plastered all over Vinyl Releases subreddit, and they're very big with their advertising. Luke 47 with the hot take, Soulja Boy is better than MF Doom. Not even going to respond to that. I should do STS9 at Red Rocks with Spongel and Tycho performing. What? Wait, STS9 is doing a show with Spongel and Tycho? What? At the same time? Hold on. Oh, it looks... Oh, they're not at the same time. They're different days. If it was Tycho and Spongel, I feel like I could have been coaxed. You got me really excited. That would have been an amazing lineup. Tycho's just a DJ set, though, which is a bummer. Favorite ambient... Oh my god, Roland, you're so pretentious. Not the Chutes Brewery. Come on, dude. The food is amazing at the Chutes. Their mac and cheese is like one of the best mac and cheeses I've ever had. Don't be a Portland elitist. Favorite ambient label. I mean, A Strangely Isolated Place is probably the best consistently, but I don't know. I feel like I don't really get my ambient from like one specific label. Although I do like... Hold on. Actually, I don't know where the record is. The stuff that releases the Jonas Monk and Ulrich Schnaus, I forget the label name, but they do some good stuff. Liza says that you've been into pop rock lately. Can I recommend you some good records? Pop rock is super vague, but my go-to answer for like power pop is Motion City Soundtrack, Even If It Kills Me. That album is a perfect 10. I think it's the best pop rock album ever made. But again, just my opinion. Am I a fan of Cook and Soul? Yeah, I have a lot of his records, but I'm missing the one I want the most, which is Polo Ye, the Kanye one. I heard I heard a rumor that he might repress it, so I'm just like anxiously awaiting that because I'm not going to pay $400 for it like Discogs is asking. What's the most unique record store I've ever been to? That's a really good question. Probably back in LA when I first started collecting records, there was a guy that was selling records out of a truck, like it was like a school bus basically, and he retrofitted it to be a record store. And you go in and you look around. It was kind of cool. I think I picked up a Flaming Lips from him. Oh, we have double super chats. Nick says I have to check out the mac and cheese at Bridgeport in Portland. All right, Bridgeport, Portland mac and cheese will do. I'm a mac and cheese fanatic, so I will check that out. Thank you for the rec. My girlfriend probably preemptively thanks you for that too, because it's also her favorite. And Mike says, I'm waiting on a ton of pre-orders right now. Is there one I'm looking forward to the most? I just answered that question, but because you super chatted me, let me go through the list and pick out one I didn't say. Probably the Big Wax pressings of the Sid Matters albums. SYD Matters, Matters. Sid Matters is like amazing, vaguely Jose Gonzalez-esque kind of psychedelic indie rock, indie stuff. Really good, and the first two albums are super out of print, but got a repress announced a couple weeks ago. I'm losing track of time, but those I'm very, very excited for. Let's see. Oh, Mike, you asked about Portuguese eggs. I don't know anything about Portuguese eggs. You're gonna have to give me the scoop on that. Favorite ambient artist? Vangelis. Vangelis is okay. I've never been able to get into their stuff. Even the Blade Runner soundtrack, I'm just like, it's kind of cool in context, but it doesn't really sit on its own for me. Maybe I'm in the extreme minority there. Do I have any rare merchandise from a band? Like non-record related or non-poster related? I have a Kanye West 808s and Heartbreak live at the Hollywood Bowl long sleeve shirt that I'm too afraid to wear because it's not that cool of a shirt. It just kind of says that, and then the back has the track list of the album. But those are pretty hard to find these days. Oh, I have my Kids See Ghosts signed hoodie by Kanye that my boy Adam, not Kanowski, the other Adam, W, hooked me up with. Any updates to the record room since you've last seen? There is a Dragon Ball Z screen print over there that I framed up underneath the office. I added this amazing screen print of Chuck Sperry, an Aphex Twin over here. I don't know if you guys can see these. Hold on. So that's hold on. So that's the Chuck Sperry up there. It's unbelievably beautiful. You can't tell from this crappy shot. And then that's Aphex Twin by Jermaine Rogers, which is super cool. All right. Those are probably the big updates, I would say. Oh man, the mac and cheese place closed. Well, thanks for getting my hopes up, Nick. Do I have any Dream Theater records? I don't. I'm not Dream. That's like prog rock, right? I'm not a huge prog fan. I'm like very like on the periphery of prog, pun intended, because Periphery is a prog metal band, right? I think I got that right. I think I nailed that. Did I get the VMP version of Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon? I did. Having only had the black variant, I thought it was cool that it finally got a colored press. Hey, Tony. What's up, man? Um, Good to see you in here. I feel like you've been MIA lately. We miss you in the group and in general. Pop in more. 5 best vaporwave records or tapes. That is a difficult question to answer off the top. But I do have a video about my favorite vaporwave. It's obviously a little older, so a lot has been released since then. But go on the channel and check out my vaporwave video about the best vaporwave albums. You'll probably like it. All right, so we'll do a couple more questions, and then I'll probably take off. So I'm waiting for a couple more good ones. So hit me with the hard hitters, but not too hard that I can't answer them without deep thought. This has been fun though. This was a good live stream. You guys are awesome, and I look like I've lost weight. That's probably not true. It's probably just a great angle. I have been eating like a garbage disposal pretty much since the pandemic started, but I appreciate that. That means a lot that you say that, because I've been feeling pretty low physically because of just like sedentary lifestyle and eating to cope with the psychosis of life. But thank you. Hard hitter. What is my favorite Owl City song? I don't know, Roland. We'll probably have to get together and listen to the album together and really discuss it and figure that out, because I know that's your favorite band. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Did I listen? What is life? That's a really good question. Life is the constant pursuit of that next vinyl grail without alienating everyone you know and losing all your money. Did I listen to the new Rise Against? I did not. I'm a very casual Rise Against fan, so they're not even really on my radar. Do I have any interesting folk albums in my collection, traditional and contemporary? Yes. There's an album, I think it's called Under Branch and Thorn, or Under Branch and Tree. It's by Samantha Crane. It was recorded all analog. It's a modern record. I think it was cut. Bernie Grundman's involved, and then I also think, is it John Vanderslice, or I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of really big names in like the cutting and mastering world that worked on it. So sonically, it's like a masterpiece, but it's also excellent songwriting. So Samantha Crane, Under Branch and Tree, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, if you can, there's 2 versions of it. One is all analog, the other one is not. So make sure you get the one that's all analog. What's my favorite NFL team? None of them. I don't have time for sports. Music is my sports. I will, I couldn't even begin to care about sports because all of this is consumed with music. Do I like bread? Not the band. Yes, the food. How much is too much for a record? There is no too much, because it's really subjective. I paid $1,200 for that Pearl Jam signed box set, and that was an absolute steal. Would I pay $1,200 for another record? Almost definitely not. It really depends on a billion factors. Tyler asks, any TMR label updates? Yes, kind of. I'm shocked that TMR 9, the King Gizzard record, is not shipped yet. I don't know what's going on with these plants. I've approved the test pressings for 9, 10, and 11. Just waiting on the plants to get in line. They're all so backed up, so I'm not sure. Hopefully some start shipping soon. I have more releases I want to put out for TMR label, but I don't want to keep putting out releases before the product from previous releases is getting delivered. There are some labels that do that and they hold money hostage, and I feel like that's like not what I'm trying to do. So as soon as a couple more deliver, I have some more stuff lined up to announce. Under Branch and Thorn and Tree. I knew I had it close. Thank you, Mike. Great album, though. What's the Pearl Jam record? You need to know. You need to know. I did a whole video about it. Hold on. It's amazing. Like, I feel like sometimes YouTube just doesn't show my videos to people who like even subscribe, and it's very frustrating. It's hard to like get swept under the algorithm. Like, Caleb, I've seen you in so many of my chats, and the fact that this was one of my bigger videos and you didn't see this means that like YouTube is just hitting me in the face repeatedly. But I hope you enjoy the video. I had a lot of fun making it. Thoughts on the microphones or Mount Erie? I like both of them. The Glow Part 2 is an amazing record. Mount Erie, such good stuff. Kind of a little too somber for me at times, but very, very good. All right. You guys rock. I'm going to call it for the evening. This was fun. We'll do more. As usual, thank you guys so much for coming to the live stream. Look forward to my videos in the next few weeks. I still have a huge announcement that's in the works that I've been teasing for months. I promise you will all be shocked and you will all be excited by the announcements when it happens. So stay safe, stay happy, listen to some good music, listen to The National. I don't know. Have a good night.